Welcome back everybody. Now today we're going to do the Did You Know section surrounding the Fanatical Mystery Bundles. We're also going to cover a few mistakes on the behalf of not only Fanatical but the consumer with these bundles as well. Now forgive my voice in this video, I am currently coming over a cold and I just can't shift the bastard thing either. So you may remember from my last video that we were going to cover a few mistakes from Fanatical covering these four bundles: the Festival Mystery Bundle, the Alpha Bundle, the Cosmic Mystery and the Mystery Machine Bundle. So we're going to start with the Festival Mystery Bundle first, that's the one at the very top. And this bundle was the mistake on Fanatical's behalf. As you can see, I have a copy of Gloom here at the top, and going down at number 4 there's a copy of Hoppico. But if you scroll a bit further down in the same bundle, mind you this is, I also have a second copy of Hoppico and a second copy of Gloom in the same 10 games. Now this was obviously back in February earlier on this year in 2019, and I'm not too sure if this was actually on, but it was either during or straight after this bundle they released this note: if you buy 1 to 10 games from this bundle in one transaction, you will receive different games. If you purchase multiple bundles, there's a chance you'll receive the same game. However, as you have just seen, I received 2 copies of the same game in the same bundle, which was obviously naughty of Mr. and Mrs. Fanatical. But I just do want to add in there, once I had a absolute shit fit at Mr. and Mrs. Fanatical, I have never received a copy of the same game in the same bundle. So moving on to the Cosmic Bundle now. Now while there wasn't actually anything wrong with the Cosmic Bundle, it was described as some of the best indie games out there. And this bundle was actually a great way of getting some of the smaller games out to the community who would normally have overlooked certain games. While the content that was in these bundles wasn't for my taking, but obviously it may have been for quite a few others, it's what they did after this bundle that fucking took the biscuit, honestly. So they published the bundle at around, say, about £4 to £5, not highly priced. Then you got your 10 indie games. Some were quite good, but some of these here that I'm showcasing were some of the shittest games you could possibly get out of the bundle. Now obviously some people may have a bit of fun playing these games, but what they did after that was fucking unbelievable. So they didn't sell many of these Cosmic Bundles, and then what they proceeded to do, they actually, because they didn't sell many of them, they decided to up the price in the next bundle and stick all this shit into the next Mystery Machine bundle. I couldn't fucking believe it, honestly. I mean, how would you get away with shit like that? And it was obviously, that's why I bought none of the Cosmic Bundles, and I only bought 2 of the Mystery Bundles. Once I realised what shit was in there, I was like, nah mate, you can have these back. I fucking demand my money back. There's no way you're palming that shit off on me that you couldn't shift in the previous bundle into this bundle. You're having a fucking giraffe. Just laughing at it now is actually making my eyes water. It's fucking hysterical. Anyway, on to the Alpha Mystery Bundle. Now here is another mistake, but this is mainly by the consumers. So with this bundle, the Mystery Bundle lets you pick up 10 games, giving you a chance to discover fantastic indie and AAA titles. And as a consumer, as soon as you see the word AAA titles, you start thinking of the games like Civ 6, Call of Duty, Doom, Hitman 2, Shadow of War, and of course Borderlands 3. You know, your brain just goes wild with the possibilities of what you could get. But if you had just read the T's and C's correctly, you would have seen it says with games from some of the best publishers. So for those people who don't know how to head over to Google and quickly type in what does a AAA title mean. A AAA is an informal classification for video games produced and distributed by mid-sized or major publishers, typically having higher development and marketing budgets. So in these bundles you are buying games that have been published by some of the major and mid-sized publishers. Obviously everybody knows most of the major publishers: Activision, Rockstar, 2K Games, Capcom, Sega, Warner Brothers, etc. The mid-sized ones, you're talking Deep Silver, the makers of the Metro, series, who fucking sold out to pissing Epic Games. Curve Digital, Coffee Stain, Iceberg, 11-Bit, Fat Shark, you know, all these mid-sized ones, and there's plenty more. So when you're there rubbing your hands together thinking you're going to get yourself a smashing deal from, let's say, here we go, we have Sega, some of the big games from Sega, obviously all the Total War series, the Company of Heroes series, and obviously the recently Yakuza games. All published by Sega, and you're thinking, yes, I'll get my hands on a few of those, but what people forget a lot of the time is they actually produce some of the shit games. Obviously you've got your old school games, Sonic Adventure 2, Jet Set Radio, and the Rock of Ages. These are all produced by Sega, so you're not always going to get the high title. You could get a plethora of the lower end of the deal, and the same goes with all publishers. So next one up is Capcom. You know, you're thinking, oh my god, Capcom, Resident Evil 2, fucking Monster Hunt, Jesus Christ, I could get Street Fighter 5. Yeah, thinking, because the mind is so fixated on those AAA titles, you forget that it's from legendary publishers. And Capcom have also published fucking Dark Void, Bionic fucking Rearm Mastered, whatever the fuck that is, and Flock, a fucking sheep game. And there's plenty more examples to come. For instance, Warner Brothers, you're thinking, oh my fucking god, all the Lego games are published by Warner Brothers. I could get myself a fucking bunch of Lego games for nothing. Mortal Kombat 11, Hitman 2, all published by Warner Brothers. And you're also forgetting the lower end of the scale of Warner Brothers. You've obviously got the Watchmen series, which was made fucking, I don't know, 20 years ago. Obviously the other two aren't bad examples, because obviously Scribblenauts and Gauntlet are actually good games and reasonably priced still. So if you get something from Warner Brothers, you're pretty much quids in. But then moving on to the next section, you're talking 2K Games, and fucking hell, everybody knows who 2K Games is, especially if you played Borderlands series. But they've also done the Civilized 6 and XCOM 2. Oh my god, how do I get my hands on some of those for nothing? And the only way to get through to those big games is to get through all the shit games published by 2K Games. Obviously, Army Men 2, Ace Patrol, what the fuck is that? Sid Meier's Ace Patrol, and SimCity Rome, which is like fucking 2,000 years old now, that game. And one final one for you all. Obviously, Square Enix, the makers of Just Cause 4, the Final Fantasy section, and obviously Tomb Raider. Fucking hell. You know, you'll be buzzing if you get something like that out of these loot boxes. Mystery bundles, whatever you want to call them. But don't forget, Square Enix have also published things like Startopia, fucking Flora's Fruit Farm, and Gyromancer, whatever the hell they are. So you just have to remember, it's from legendary publishers. So for example, Bandai Namco, obviously the makers of Jump Force, Dark Souls, and fucking Ace Combat 7, also published. So, fucking, you know, you could get Pac-Man in there, or some sort of mud game on a motorbike, fucking half-cross thing I think it is, and Deadcore, which I believe is actually a relatively okay game, but it's a bit old these days. So what actually happened to this mystery bundle? It's basically the consumer themselves didn't read the full script. They basically saw AAA titles and fucking went balls deep on the bastard. And they didn't read that it was from the publishers. And obviously, publishers have published hundreds of games, fucking some thousands. And you're not always going to get the high-end game. You're going to get something from those publishers, which could be some of the shittest games you've ever seen in your life. And the consumers started demanding refunds on these mystery bundle, on this particular alpha mystery bundle, just because they didn't read the description of the fucking bundle themselves. And lo and behold, literally about 2 days after this bundle came out, it was taken down. Just because they were fucking refunding everything. So there you have it. There is the 4 bundles. Obviously, 2 were completely fucked by Fanatical themselves. And the other one, the consumers themselves fucked it up and Fanatical had to take it down. But that's just while we're on the mystery bundles. Does anybody actually remember? Does anybody remember the great Lego fiasco of Fanatical? Now, I was at the full front of this because when they released it basically they released this and they were so fucking cheap, it was unbelievable. The site started lagging and they had to remove the bundle off, and it took like nearly 2 hours to get it back up. And they were so eager to get it back up and running, they completely fucked it up. Basically, they were selling the games too cheap, and some of the lucky few managed to get them. And when they re-established order back on the website after it pretty much went down, they forgot to reprice the bastard thing on the website on the website itself. They never increased the price on the description of the bundle. So I was one of these people. I tried to buy some and I was arguing profusely with the fuckers. Mate, I had gone so far up the chain, I swear I was fucking touching the CEO's arsehole. And basically, once I got that high, they just turned around to me and said, look mate, I know you're from England, and I know we're based in England, I know we release everything in England, I know we use the English time zone and this, that and the other, but it's based on the American prices. And fuck me off, the little bastards. But I didn't leave it there. I went back to him and started fucking arguing that this bundle alone, if I was to buy all these games individually from a different site, CD keys, it's still like £7 cheaper than your bundle. So how can you argue with me that you're fucking basing it on the American prices when you're based in England? But yeah, I could get each game individually cheaper. Your bundles, fuck mate, you need to take it down. But they never did, and I never actually picked any up because they were overpriced. The bundle was actually overpriced. Once they rebranded the price to the American term, you can't see it on the video, but that is quotation marks. People just stopped buying the bundle. It was as simple as that. There was one more thing I just want to get onto for you all, and this is actually how you get most of the games from the mystery bundles. Like, if you're buying these mystery bundles, you'll start seeing a lot of things like Port Royal 3 being given out, Borderlands 2 and Evil Genius, and that is obviously because they tend to give out all the older games when there is an upcoming game release. So obviously Port Royal 3 is coming out, Port Royal 4 is coming out at the end of summer next year, I think it is. Obviously Borderlands 3 is already out, and obviously Evil Genius. It goes the same with like Homeworld Remastered Collection. When you get a bunch of those, it's because there is something in development. If they start pumping those games out at you, it's because it's a new game for that franchise coming out. Now, I apologise for the length of this video. This is why I didn't want to put this video obviously included in the previous video, because it was a lot of waffling and a lot of shit I had to actually explain. But thank you all for watching. You know, the same thing everybody always says at the end of the video: subscribe, blah 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 blah. Hit the like button, yes 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 yes. And thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all soon. Take care.